Hello guys! Welcome back to our channel. For today's video, we will discuss the continuation of our topic for the freelancer. Being a freelance can mean taking control of your career, choosing your clients, managing your own time, and eventually reaping the benefits of your self-made success. Before you get started for self-employment, you need to register to the Bureau of Internal Revenue so you can file your own taxes. We'll walk you through the steps and list down the requirements to help you out. So please stay tuned until we finish the discussion. Nowadays, registration with the BIR can be manual or online. But for today's video, we will be focusing more on the manual side since the online process of the BIR is not in full operation. We will be uploading another video soon as the process of online becomes effective. To start our discussion, let's clarify first the listing of requirements for BIR checklist. The first requirement is your tax identification number. Although this particular requirement is not listed on the form, you cannot register without your TIN. If you already have your tax identification number, you just need to validate your existing record. No need to secure another one since a TIN is a permanent identification for all individuals. Securing more than one TIN is a serious violation of tax law and can be punishable. The second requirement is the application form called BIR Form 1901. For everyone's reference, we provide a link of all updated forms and we will discuss on how to complete this on the latter part of this video. The third requirement is your identification card. Profession regulated by the PRC shall submit a copy of their updated PRC license. For the other profession, they should provide or submit a copy of any valid ID such as passport. Please be reminded that your ID should indicate your updated address. Otherwise, you will be required to submit any of the following proof of location. Number 1, it's a barangay clearance. This particular document will be secured from your nearest barangay hall. Second, any utility bills under your name. The fourth requirement on this checklist is a BIR official receipt sample layout. Do not worry, this can be secured to the BIR office. BIR officer will be endorsing you to accredited provider as an ease of assistance. But as a reference, we have provided link of all existing accredited printers from the BIR website. You may contact them to inquire how much and how will be the process of the printing. Lastly, the requirement for the registration is to pay the registration fee amounting 500 pesos. For some cases, BIR will be requiring special requirements applicable to the freelancer such as a DTI certificate if you will be using a trade name. Second, for a foreign national, they will be requiring you to submit a working visa. And the last special requirement, which not on the list, which based on our experience in handling freelance registration, the BIR will require you to submit a so-called occupational or professional tax receipt which can be secured from your nearest city hall. And that's the listing of requirements needed by the BIR. Once you are ready and compile your requirements, you may now proceed with the actual registration. As a reminder, BIR registration can be done personally. But if you don't have time and worried you might miss important factors on the registration, you may hire consultants offering registration to guide you on the overall process. Of course, they will be charging you fees, but the fees may outweigh the cost for your time and possible saving tips that they may offer. Here's the step-by-step guide on the registration. Number 1, update your BIR registration. Second, compiling requirements including completing BIR forms. And lastly, the actual submission to the BIR office. This process will cover the following. First, presentation of requirement to the new business section. Second, payment of BIR registration fees and documentary stamp taxes. Third, registration of books of accounts. Next, processing of your authority to print. And lastly, the releasing of your BIR records. As an overall guide, here's a tip for each processes. Number 1, for the updating of registration, you will need to make sure that your existing registration is within the same city as your residence or preferred office address to be used for the registration. You may verify it online to avoid hassles of going back and forth to the BIR offices. We have uploaded a short video on how to do it even just from your mobile. Once you locate your registration and confirm that it is within the same city, you may already skip this process and proceed with the number 2. However, for many cases wherein registration is not updated, meaning you are registered to a different city, you will need to transfer your record first before the registration. But you may be curious why your registration is not updated. Normally, if you are an employee and your employer secure your record, your TIN stays within your employer. You may need to update your record to reflect your current address. You will be needing to transfer your record because BIR will be requiring you to present a proof of address as their basis to locate you for any mandatory tax mapping or basis for sending notices. How to transfer your records? Transferring of records can be done by accomplishing a BIR Form 1905. This particular form is downloadable from the BIR website. This document shall be submitted to your existing office. Best example, if your last employer is in Pasig and you will register in Taguig, this form shall be submitted to Pasig. Here's a guide in completing the BIR Form 1905. For the Part 1, this refers to your personal information. Just supply your TIN, your existing BIR RDO office, your existing mobile contact, and your complete name. The Part 2 refers to your reason for updating. Just select the update of registration information from box 5. Then proceed with the 7B, where you will input your new registered address and mark transfer to another RDO. Other information is not applicable. Just go to page 3 where you will affix your signature. You may need to prepare 3 copies of this before going to the BIR. For everyone's guide, if you do not have any printer, you may go directly to the BIR office. They have all the available forms for you. Updating or transferring of registration can be real-time or will take a day before your record will be forwarded to your new BIR office. As a wise tip, it will be better if you will be visiting BIR office early in the morning to avoid long queue and for your errands to be efficient. After BIR notified you that the transfer has been successfully made, be ready with your listing of requirements before visiting your new BIR office to save time and to secure productive errands. One of the requirements that you need to complete is the BIR Form 1901. And here's the important details to be noted. For the Part 1, office type, just select the head office. For the Part 1, just provide your TIN and new RDO code. For the box 6, this refers to your category per BIR record. Select professional if you are regulated by the PRC. Otherwise, just select profession in general. Box 7 to box 17 is more on your personal information. Important not to miss is the box 23, wherein you will signify your intention to avail the lower tax rates of BIR. This is only applicable for individuals targeting to earn maximum of 3 million per year. The important part is number 4, box 35, where you will indicate your nature of business. You may indicate exact nature of your work such as writer, computer consultant, and the like. And the most important portion is the part number 6, wherein you will indicate or choose your registered tax type. 1. You may need to research or secure advice from accountant to better assess and manage your taxes. But to provide some tips, suggested tax type for individual earning 3 million and below are the following. Number 1, income tax. Number 2, other percentage tax. And the last one is the registration fee. On the other side, individuals earning more than 3 million, they need to choose the income tax, the registration fee, and the value-added tax. The other taxes on the form may not be applicable for freelancer. No need to select to avoid additional compliances to the BIR. The next portion to be completed is part number 7. This refers to accredited printer and details of official receipt. The data for this can be completed at the BIR office. BIR official will be providing you guidelines on this. As a recommendation, you may register 1/3 size of carbonized or not for 10 booklets. For your information, the minimum job order of printer are 5. But it will be better to secure a reasonable number of booklets to save some time visiting BIR office. Just to note, BIR lifted the expiration clause of any BIR documents such as ORs and invoices. The next information to be provided is the registration fee amounting 500 pesos. Then, do not forget to sign on box 51 and ready 3 copies of this form. The other form to be completed is the BIR Form 1905, the same form used for BIR records updating. But this time, the purpose of this is to register a books of accounts. Part 1, 1 to 4, provide your personal information. Then go to box 6 and select the register books of accounts. Then finally, go to page 3 under box 10 to provide your preferred books of accounts. At a minimum, Freelancer is required to register 2 types of books of accounts: the cash receipt and the cash disbursement. Cash receipt is to record revenues received and your official receipt issued to your clients. The cash disbursement is to record business expenses related to your business. You may skip the other information, then sign under box 12. Produce 3 copies of this form. Just a reminder, these columnar books of accounts can be purchased to any office supply stores, but if you don't have time, this can be purchased from the BIR office too. After completing the BIR forms and compiling the other relevant requirements, you are now ready to visit BIR office. At the BIR office, get a queuing number for a new business registration section from the guard and wait for your numbers to be called. This particular officer will be reviewing your registration requirements. Once they validated the completeness of your requirements, they will be requiring you to pay the registration fee and the stamp for your BIR certificate. Once paid, BIR officer will ask you to submit the 1905 and the columnar books of accounts to the specific officer handling the books registration. While waiting for the books of accounts to be stamped, you will then be assigned to the officer handling the authority to print, and you will be providing information of the accredited printer. Once you are done routing your papers, the new business registration officer will be asking you to wait for the releasing of your BIR documents. Waiting time for the releasing normally takes 2 to 3 hours, so we highly recommend visiting BIR office in the morning. For your guide, please secure all the relevant records stated below as a proof of your registration. The first one is the BIR registration certificate or the BIR Form 2303. The second one is the stamp books of accounts, the cash receipt, and the cash disbursement. The third one is the so-called NIRI, which is the notice to issue receipts and invoices. The next one is the receipt for the registration fee paid. Fifth are the stamped BIR Form 1901 and 1905. The sixth are the authority to print. The last one is the OR of ordered booklets. Accredited printer normally asks you to wait 10 banking days before it will be ready for pickup. You may, however, request for the printer to deliver this to your address. And for the cost to be incurred, registration fees and other expenses will be ranging 3,500 to 4,000 pesos, depends on the city. And there you have it. That's the overall process for the registration. We highly recommend to attend the briefing for the new business registrant at your RDO. It's absolutely free, so you can ask questions you might still have after the registration. The freelance BIR registration process is truly not a walk in the park. It will require time and effort to legitimize your freelance work. Your responsibility will not end after the registration. You will have to maintain your books of accounts, file your BIR forms quarterly and annually, and even renew your registration. It may require a lot of work, but it will definitely worth it. If you have a project that needs to be done abroad, and if you have an overseas client who wants you to visit in their country, you can easily apply for a visa and other document because you have the proof of legitimacy. Furthermore, your filed annual income tax return can prove useful for transactions that will require proof of income, such as credit cards and bank loans. Another advantage of having official receipt is that more companies or clients will be inclined to get your services since you are a legitimate business entity. And in the end, isn't that always a good thing? If you're still not sure on how the registration process, please feel free to leave your comments below so we can respond as soon as we can. Thank you for watching.